Doreen, do you understand that? There's a connection between the baby that passes either through miscarriage or stillborn. Do you understand that? And where's the
Yes.
older woman? Is that your mother or grandmother that's passed?
I'm the mother. It's my daughter's baby.
Okay, but she's with an older female figure. So that's got to either be your mother, your grandmother. Do you know what I mean? But there's an
It would be,
older watching
it,
over her.
it might be,
Just that. Can you unmute there? She's playing with you.
sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
My granddaughter would have been 20 years old now.
You need to hear me. There is an older woman who's coming through with them. Do you know what I mean? There's two young like girls. Do you know what I mean? One I feel like passes baby. There's a second grandchild who's coming through, but the older woman is coming through. So whether that's your mother who's passed, do you know what I mean? This holding
it could be my mother.
Who's the G or the J sounding name? And there has to be an A or an E sounding name as well. That's connected. And there's an M. Oh,
Virginia May and Victoria.
There you go.
Elizabeth.
There you go. I just feel like I feel like the baby connection is coming through and acknowledging this. So your mom, I feel like you and your mother look like this. Like, I don't know if there's like pictures of you. Like, I just feel like you could pass as twins is what they're showing me. Somebody also is either tracing back family history or going through that, like genealogy or the swab, or do you know what I mean? Tracing back the family history. And you understand.
There's a lot of that.
Okay. And you understand there's somebody in the family who, and you have her hair, like, I don't know why they talk about our hair. it's just hair, but she's just like, that is like, oh my gosh, she's like, you know us because of the hair is what she's saying. I also feel like you've carried the weight of what your family has gone through is what I'm being shown right on your shoulders. Do you understand the girl who passes, who's somebody else's actions cause their passing? Do you understand that?
Yes, my older granddaughter passed away when she was 8. She was abducted and murdered.
Oh my God. I am so sorry. Because I feel like she's like, I don't want to talk because I feel like you've grieved so publicly, like wherever you're from. Do you know what I mean?
It was.
Like, you grieved so publicly, but your grief is like in this suspended, you know, but I do feel like it's either smaller community or people will see you at the bank or the grocery store and be like, how are you doing? Not fucking good. Do you know what I mean? Well, you look good. It's like,
that's why I moved provinces.
Okay. It's kind of like, well, I didn't shower the last 3 days. You know what I mean? I ate popcorn for supper last night. Like, you know, many of us have gone through that in grief, right? Like, it's like, you know, you get the pity eyes if you're from a small town or from a small community, even in a greater city. And I feel like the butterfly symbol, we've talked about that before. I also feel like dragonfly, I don't know if you've got the dog that's picking up on the energy as well. There is a dog with them in spirit as well.
Oh God.
She would have like the same hair. Like, would she be older now? Like, it's just like this big mane of hair is what I'm being shown.
Who would that be? Do you mean?
The girl who was murdered.
Yeah, I believe she would. She was a blonde. And
okay, so similar. Do you know what I mean? It's like we all have the same hair is what I'm being shown. I also see like either there is the anniversary. So either somebody is born connected with somebody's birthday, anniversary of passing that's connected with that. There's like this double date connection. I also feel like you need to know this. So are you mom to that girl or grandmother to that girl?
I'm grandmother to both.
Okay, because I feel like you lost 2 people that day. So granddaughter was murdered, but you lost your daughter that day. Do you understand that?
I lost my son that day. It was his daughter.
Oh, his daughter. Okay.
And
because
the baby, the newborn or stillborn was my daughter's little girl.
That's to that side then. Okay. My misinterpretation. Because I feel like there's I don't mean like this, dun, 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 there's a shell of him, but it's like he's not, which I couldn't imagine. Do you know what I mean? But it's that feeling you're like, this isn't the way it's supposed to be. If I could take your pain, I would. Do you understand that? And that you've gone through that in your head. And I always say that there is no, remember before, can't remember who I said that to, but it's like karma is a bigger bitch than our justice system will ever be. Do you understand that? It's like,
yeah.
How can a loving God let murderers and rapists live and let the sweet innocence of youth go? Do you understand that? This is so important. Double rainbows are a sign from her. So double rainbows. I also feel like hearts, heart rocks. Beatrice just sent you a heart. Do you know what I mean? Heart rocks, heart puddles. You're at the beach, heart, you'll see hearts everywhere. Do you know what I mean? That hearts is one of those things that she shows you. Do you understand that? I feel like this is really important. I don't know how open Dad is, but he needs to hear this. He is carrying that guilt, number one. Trauma, unprocessed trauma, which I can only imagine. She's like, you need to hear me. I was never there. She's saying that, yes, her body went through that, but literally this golden angel, she's like, I'm taken. Do you know what I mean? I never suffered. And even though you've heard that, do you understand that? You
Yes.
need to hear it from her. Does that make sense?
Yeah, very much so.
Those are not my last images here. You need to know that it is not fear-based. It's like, boom, it's almost like spirit in moments like that. It's spirit whoop, outside the body. Do you know what I mean? And the physical body has to go, it goes through that trauma of that, but she was never there. Dad really needs to hear that because he's traumatized by what her last images were here in that
Yes.
way. Yeah. Do
Yes.
you understand that?
Oh, yeah.
Did he contact, or were you in contact with the police that were involved in that? Or it's like, thank you for
Yes.
for like the full circle, or there was a conversation that happened afterwards, or they've reached out to you, or they've reached out to him in some way. Like, I just feel like there's this beautiful healing that has come from first responders who were involved.
All around everything, yes. I'd have to say the police and the first responders, well, the first responders really, how do we say this? They didn't find her body for 3 months.
Okay.
The people that were responsible for it would not tell where she was.
Yeah.
And it was a police detective that found her in the end. And
Okay, here's the thing. I don't know how open they are. I worked with law enforcement, probably a third of my clients. I would love to do a session for that member. Do you know what I mean? If they're open or whatever that is. Do you know what I mean? Like, just to connect to, and if your son was open to just a quick, do you know what I mean? Even just a quick 10-minute, do you know what I mean? Conversation from my heart to theirs. I don't want to pass on any more information because, again, you guys have grieved way too publicly. Do you know what I mean? In my opinion, these messages are so sacred and meant to be held in private in that way. So I would love if you connect with Karen, Doreen, I would love that. I don't know how open your family is, you know what I mean? But I could do like a family thing. We can connect in that way. And I would love to speak to that member because I feel like she's a sweetheart and she has a message for that police officer. Do you know what I mean? That if they are open, that can help in that way. So I just feel like that's her way. Do you know what I mean? And for Dad and Mom really in too. So I don't know if they're still together or not. Do you know what I mean? But there's this, it's Dad, do you know what I mean? That she needs to connect with. But again, I feel like you've either sent a message or you're aware of that. So her biggest thing is that it's like, you need to know that I'm free. And I keep sending the hearts as a sign that I'm watching over you. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
And you know that song, what is amazing to me is that theme. Like I posted earlier today, I couldn't get the song out of my head. I woke up hearing it in my head, was Who You'd Be Today by Kenny Chesney. So you need to go to my Psychic Medium page and listen to that, because we often wonder, like, what would your hair look like? What would you look like? Do you know what I mean? Even if it's a sibling or a brother or a child or a grandchild in that way. And I just feel like it's that. Also, the other song that I keep hearing is When I See You Again. It's been a long day without you. I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. is what
Right.
so I just feel like you need to know, message, like go to the website, you know what I mean? Do the contact form or email us, Doreen. I would love to offer that from my heart to his, do you know what I mean? Just a little mini, just one more conversation with her is what I
Right.
feel. Because you need to know that in cases like that, they are not sitting in a field somewhere, do you know what I mean? Until they're found. That is not the way it works. Instantly, boom, they're in spirit. Just like the dad that passed, heart attack connection, do you know what I mean? Boom.
Right. Right.
You understand that?
Yes.